Alright, it's rolling. Hello, everyone. I'm Sydney. I'm a senior in live action. I'm joined by two other Jacks, and we are starting the first FAV podcast. So do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
That's my name is Jack English, backwards. I'm a FAV live action senior. Hello, welcome to the podcast. We're gonna have a good time.
My name is Jack as well. My bad. My name is Jack as well, and I'm also a senior in FAV live action.
Anything else?
That's the end of the podcast.
That's the podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for tuning in,
Thanks
guys.
for listening. That was the one fear, is that I have a fear. When you started me, I was like, yeah, I was like, oh man, we're already starting, because I was telling Jack the other day, like, I feel if we do this podcast, it's just gonna be us doing bits the entire time.
We're not gonna be. I'm not gonna.
It's gonna be like 3 hours of us recording, and Cindy's gonna have a 20, like, edit it all to like a 20 minutes.
I don't want to be too silly, so
20 minutes
gonna
just try
to
to
rein it in, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm still wearing sunglasses. We're in the black
You look
studio.
really cool though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm leaving mine.
So you guys did a film last year together. That
did.
was really funny and
Yeah.
awesome. What was the experience? How did you get to this idea? You guys just worked together
When did you-
a lot?
Yeah, when did you tell me the idea first? You told me that like maybe sophomore year, right?
For Ponscom, right?
Yeah, Ponscom,
My
yeah.
my
Ponscom.
second semester live action junior film. I think I floated the idea first semester in Sarah's class, and everybody liked it more than the idea that I was doing. And I had only written like the first like 6 lines of dialogue or something, and I brought it into the class and just told everybody my idea. And I even like said that I was gonna film it when I went back for Thanksgiving break, which did not happen.
I remember when you told me that idea. We were sitting in. It was such a funny idea. That's such a great idea.
Thank you.
And it was put to video now on YouTube on what channel?
just
Link in
Jack.
bio.
I'm just kidding.
It's just
Link in bio.
look up Jack.
Click the link down below. I don't think there is a link down
Follow
below.
my boy, me English Jack, on the Instagram. Go to the link. Yeah. How do
You can follow my Instagram at SCOTUS.
So did you write Jack into your film, like, originally, or did that casting
I think
happen?
I really pursued to be in the film. Actually, I
I
think
think
I said, please let me be this.
I
Can I
think
please be the weird guy?
We were talking about it in Ramon's class when we were discussing our ideas, and I was like, "Yeah," you were like, "I kind of want to," and I was like, "Do you want to be the?"
I was
the
like,
guy?
yes.
You're
I
like,
was
yes.
I've been trying to get you to cast me in it since last semester.
And then you had been doing the
I've been doing the voice.
Yeah,
I've been doing that voice for almost like 2 weeks at that point.
Yeah, and then you were doing it, and I was like, "Will you do that voice?"
It's like, yeah, okay.
That's it.
Nice.
It
Iconic.
went through a deep phase of like just like screaming at my phone, detach audio, and then I just kind of did it again. I just continued doing it in classes, and Jack was like, do the voice. That was a lot of fun. It was cool because I liked the script, and then Jack was like, feel free to improv, so I did.
Nice, nice. Do you guys plan on being in each other's films
Yes,
for
we do.
senior?
Yes.
Ooh,
I plan on being in
nice.
Jack's film, and I think Jack has yet to get back to me about being in my film. But to be fair, there is no script written, so no matter
which
what
film
Jack,
are you
I don't
doing?
know. Who knows? I have no idea.
Yes, I'll be in it. Absolutely.
We can cut that out. we can cut that out.
Now we have proof that I said yes.
I guess we do plan on being in. I plan on being in Jack's film, even if he doesn't want me there.
I want you
show
in my
up.
film. I won't make it if you're not in it. That's like the opposite of like. I was trying to be like, of course, like I want you to be in my. But then it sounded like I was like pressuring you and like blackmailing you to like.
I will,
if you aren't in my film, I'm literally not gonna make it. I'm gonna fail.
That sounds like
Senior studio.
Well, to me, that's more like you are perfect for the role. I guess I'm a little more optimistic than you.
I want you in my film.
I'm going to be in the film.
I want you.
I'm going to.
I want you in my movie.
I'm going to be in the film. I'm going to. I swear.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Let me be in your films too. I'd be really
You got
excited.
it. Of
Oh my
course.
gosh.
Yes.
let's bring it back to.
Oh yeah, I forgot that went so far. Yeah, we can cut that out. We can cut that out.
No, it's funny. Let's bring it back to how did you guys decide to do FAV?
It was always the plan to go into FAV. I never really. I at some points I was like, maybe I want to do animation, maybe I want to do something else, but I've always wanted to do live action. I think in my soul, so decided to do that. I've just decided. Yeah. How about you?
I made videos with my friends in high school, had fun, and decided I wanted to study it in school.
Nice. How did you guys get into comedy? Is that something that you already loved?
I have this need for people to like me and to think I'm funny.
Aww.
So I have always wanted to do comedy. No, I don't know. I've always it's just been fun. It's really fun. That's the best emotion I feel like. Whenever you make someone laugh, I just feel so gleeful. So I've always wanted to make people laugh. And it's way easier to write comedy for some reason. I'm not a very serious person. I walk around the house and I torture him. Like I just torture him because I think it's funny.
It is funny.
It's so funny. Yeah. What about you?
I
feel like I'm the co-host.
it's just what I tend
What do you
to.
think?
I don't know. If I start writing something, it turns into something silly every time.
Yeah, every time.
It's my instinct. It's like I just drift towards that.
The thing that's like really hard about live action is that most things that I think is funny is people. I think you had a similar situation. Like whatever you think is funny, there's still people that are like, is that actually funny though? Like that's an insane scenario you just threw this character in. Like whenever I'm like writing, I have to like stop myself from being like, and then they die, and then a piano falls on them and they die.
Well, it's always funny if a character randomly gets killed by a falling piano.
I know, and then they're like, how are you gonna do that? I'm like, well, we have a piano, so don't fret. Yeah, I don't know. I who knows what I want to do this semester because I have no script. Ramon, our individual meetings are on Tuesday, and I'll let you know. Oh, and Alexandra, I am not prepared.
It's so exciting about, not having a solidified, script is that sort of, you can do anything. Like, anything is possible, sort of.
You should teach her.
Yes.
Nice. Do you guys have any funny on-set experiences?
Yes. I
Funny stories.
you were there for this. I think the best part about our medium is that it's we get the chance to not only do it over, but also mistakes are can be very it can because we're the big thing we're fighting is always time. So when we were filming Pond Scum, at the very end of Pond Scum, Jack walks into the water. And we messed up the first take, and we had to wait 30 minutes to do a second take.
No, it was not your fault. It was my fault. It was my fault.
It was so funny because we have the clip. I mean, I have the clip somewhere, but of Jack just you have the clip actually. You have all the footage. It's your film of you literally walking into the water, and then Sydney being like, right.
No, it was okay.
And then Paul and what's going on?
It was my fault because at the end of my last semester project, the shot is two characters in the foreground, and then it's the other character walking into the lake, just until he's completely under the water. And the way that I had the shot framed was I wanted it to happen between the two people that are in the foreground so you can see the whole thing. So I was an idiot, and I told Sydney, who was operating the camera, to yell right or left if I was going out of the frame.
But you can't hear me. And then Jack and Paul reacted. Oh wait,
that was bad directing. That was bad directing because also we were recording the audio live. So it was just I would say the lesson here is plan these things before walking into.
I would say the thing I like about it is that when you mess up, you were still it is a little scary because you are always fighting time. We were fighting daylight then. We had to get it done. But I really liked. I mean. And then we got the shot on the second. It was really was a great shot. We plus that allowed us to do more time for Paul and I to do to sing, and because that was because we were just sitting there I will survive.
Yeah.
I wish I was the one that was singing high pitch, but
Yeah, because the original plan was to just have them having a conversation, but then we were kind of like hanging out in between takes. They were singing "I Will Survive," and then I was like, "You guys should do that for the take."
we did.
So I think that's a big part of like, I guess like comedy too.
It's impressive.
Like you don't feel, I guess, or at least from my experience, don't like feel like you have to do exactly what's on the paper or like what you've planned out beforehand. And if you discover something like on set with the actors and like whatever chemistry is happening between people on sets, like if that feels like a better idea, then do that, you know.
I think there's a lot of moments like that where we this was entirely like this was a little lucky that this was happening, but like something would be messed up one day and then we would go back to shoot it in like a smaller time frame, but we got a better shot. We did better situations happen because we waited. Mm-hmm. That being said, don't wait when you're doing a live action project. Like we
because I procrastinate. Don't do that.
When we were shooting the swing scene, for example, the first time we went to go shoot that, it was like we had checkout didn't give us a screw or something like that. We didn't have a screw for for the tripod.
Well, yeah, that was also because I just forgot to check that everything was there. But
no, it's not checkout's fault. That's not what I'm saying. I'm sorry. We can cut that out. We can cut that out. Let's cut that out. But it was like we didn't get to film that entire scene. It was also a cloudy day. But while we were there, we were testing the slow-mo out and stuff, and it was like I could tell Jack was a little anxious about it, but then we went back like a week later, and we got the shots. Mm-hmm. We got the shots, baby.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't go right.
We're so back,
which is totally fine. You know?
Cool. Let's talk about your film, Elevator.
Oh, Elevator. Yeah, Elevator. Yeah. Yeah, I got that. That was a film. That's a thing I want to return to do correctly again. I was very.
What do you mean?
I want to do it again. I think I can do it better. I can make it better. A lot of my RISD projects have just become proof of concepts, which is not the best thing. That's why. But yeah, I made a film. Any questions? I don't know what should I talk about. I'm very nervous.
Oh.
We can cut that out.
Just imagine we just don't cut out anything.
That's my favorite bit is that I keep leaning over and like we can cut that out.
Yeah. Well, talk about building the elevator.
Oh yeah, that's a really good. So yeah,
and you collaborated.
I collaborated with Cameron and Tim, Cam Smith and Tim Brandt over in Sculpture, 2024 graduates with us. It was crazy because I pitched that idea. Well, I was gonna do a cat film first. And then I also had the elevator idea that I've been thinking about for about over a year, because I had written out a bunch of vignettes. I guess the big like difference between like my film and other like narrative live action films this year was that like mine was strictly filmed in the studio, and it was a bunch of vignettes. It wasn't it wasn't like one beginning, middle, and end story. It was like stuff like that. But we built an elevator door and an elevator like car. And it looks really good. It's actually currently behind us. Where'd it go?
It's over there.
Yeah, it's here. It's actually here in the studio where we're filming. We're recording. And
I think that's a really cool part of it is that you collaborated with a different major.
With a different major,
which you can do.
Yeah.
Which
yes, you can do.
FAV
Seriously, FAV does not. We're in a very collaborative art form. And I think that's like a little cheat code that we don't ever acknowledge is that we get the ability to collaborate, and we just really haven't gotten the chance to.
Yeah, we're at RISD, and there are so many people in other departments like making amazing things. So you know,
feel free to like talk to people,
collaborate,
make friends outside of your major.
Yeah, that's what's fun about live action, especially on sets.
Yeah,
not so much as documentary, which I do a lot, but like I love working on other people's sets because it's so much fun.
It is,
and you really get to like talk to people.
It's a wonderful time. Yes, I remember when we were working on like Jack's set. That was like the first real set I worked on, like both of them and like I really enjoyed doing that, and you really get to especially with the COVID year, it's really great. You get to like actually like go out of your bubble of like your original like pod and get to collaborate with people. Do you want to do narrative, like ever, like any fiction?
I don't know. I feel like I'm not great at like the pre-production stuff. So like writing a script and like planning out shots, I think it's like too much. I like someone else to think about that stuff and then tell me what to do. But I like documentary because you can like really live in the moment and like make choices, like what kind of zooms or like where you want to shoot. It's not so much like scripted out, like you're gonna get a medium and then you're gonna get a wide and then you're gonna get closer and stuff like that. And I really like editing, so I think that's why I'm a little bit more like for documentary in my personal work. But I think working on sets with other people's stories is like the fun part. But yeah, eventually I feel like I should try to like write a script, but yeah, just haven't done that. Do you guys?
I think it's documentary is what you tend towards. So I think that's. It's not. If you don't. I don't know what. We should also cut this out because I have no point. I am making no point. That's cool.
Yeah, and you said your second idea was a documentary. That's a really funny concept.
Oh yeah.
Maybe are you gonna do it, or is it just a throwaway idea?
It was kind of a throwaway idea that I came up with that morning. But
you should tell
just because we
audience.
had to have two ideas. I don't know. I was thinking about. I do like documentary. I've done one before about the. Jack and I have actually both done separate documentaries about the Church of Christian Science in Providence. Very interesting building and religion. But my other idea was to make like a documentary about Altoid sours.
Still never
candy
heard
that
of
was
these.
discontinued like 15 years ago.
I just wasn't in my circle, man. I feel bad. No, I feel like I missed out. Genuinely,
me too.
You and Carter were like loving that. It's like, damn. Altoid sours.
What do you guys have in terms of advice, maybe for sophomores choosing live action potentially, or juniors about to embark their junior film?
Well,
you know what? That's such a. We're gonna edit this, right? So we get like let me formulate like a perfect answer for this because there's we can either go like. We can either go the route which is like we have no idea, or we could really think like I'm sure we can. There's like a lot of things, like a lot of good advice we can give.
I think I don't know if you're going into making your junior project. I think do what feels good for you, and don't try to make something that you think will appeal to people. I guess just write something that you want to write, and don't worry about if it's going to be like whatever, like well received, or if people are going to like it or something. I don't know. I think just write something that's very, it's corny, but yeah.
I would genuinely say like prioritize what you want to make, like just really like don't like I don't know, how do I say this? We'll cut this out. There's it's like such a good question though, like advice, because I've never really thought about giving advice. Wow. All right, give me a moment. We can continue.
I think also for picking, if you're kind of trying to decide if you should go into live action, I would say if you want to go into a track that will give you a lot of freedom, I think for some people it probably feels like a little too much freedom, where it's like it's very open, like they kind of, at least from my experience in junior year, they kind of just set you off on like go make something, go make like anything, and there isn't a ton of structure to that, which can be a positive for some people. I really liked that aspect of it, but if you're looking for something that has more of a structure, maybe it's not for you. But I think if you want that freedom to be able to go just like create anything that your mind can think of, then yeah, live action is the place to do it.
Yeah, super fun.
I really love that aspect of it.
I thought you were gonna say open media.
Well, open media too. Open media, maybe even more so.
Yeah, I think there's that's.
I feel like my biggest advice, because live action is so like open. Like we don't even have homework right now, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
And then the animation people are grinding like one animation per day, which I could not imagine.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
But especially because we have a little bit of structure. I think that my biggest advice would be to make structure for yourself. If you're that person. I did like an animated documentary, so a lot of that hinges on like something being done so I can continue. So really planning out your schedule and your calendar and like making deadlines for yourself, which is hard. But like live action is not something you want to push to the very end where you're like scrambling to get shots and then like editing and then like not having time to do sound and coloring. Yeah, it was crazy in that editing. that day
the turbulence. Like I think the thing with a lot of film tracks at other schools too is that they're very industry oriented, very or I guess more technical than RISD, and they kind of like, at least from the people that I've talked to and what kind of professors have said, like they really are trying to put you in a box and don't give you a ton of room and like creative freedom. So I think just like take advantage of that aspect of RISD's.
Don't be afraid to like do something that wouldn't be considered like. That's my advice would be to just legitimately make what you want to make. I don't think that like pitching a movie about a guy accidentally killing his girlfriend's cat would go well anywhere, and I don't think that we could like. I don't think I could ever convince some people to like do a film about a bunch of vignettes in an elevator anywhere. I think that you have the ability to do like to come up with an idea and just write it, see where it goes from there, and then you have time to experiment. And so just don't be afraid to like actually genuinely like everyone. I've never heard like a bad idea in RISD FAV. I feel like I think like every single one that like even ones that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do that, but I bet you could do that. Like it's like just don't like that's my whole take.
If they don't get it, who cares?
Yeah, genuinely, they don't get it. Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the time, especially for junior year, to experiment, and then senior year, it gets a little bit scary, but that's okay.
Yeah, and also don't. I would say, from my experience, junior year, don't put way too much pressure on yourself because you're making 2 semester projects, and it's really hard to make a complete like film project in 1 semester. It really is not enough time. So like
that is true. Yeah.
Don't freak yourself out. It's not, you still have senior year left, and I think you should just make, what you want and don't worry about it being, I don't know, perfect or like to your the exact specifications of your vision. If it doesn't turn out exactly how you wanted, it's totally fine. Like it's the time, like Sydney was saying, to like make mistakes and experiment. And I think it was a really good learning process. But I think, this year is when you kind of apply what you learned in the frenzy of junior year.
You would be a really good life coach. I feel
like
you are really good at like this is like I'm like, man, you're inspiring me. I'm not even a junior anymore. Damn.
Go buy my book.
What do you guys want to do in the future?
Post RISD?
Yeah.
Next question. That is not a question for the RISD.
I want to live, laugh, love, dance like nobody's watching.
Nice.
That's my post-college plan.
Not thinking about it too scary.
You got to get through. Somebody who said that, Alexandra Anthony, our live action teacher, was like, people that think about the future in terms of like 2 or 3 days ahead. Like, what do I have to have done next week instead of like, what am I going to be doing in 5 years? Like, that is so far out of reach, and it's so scary and daunting. So it's like, you've got homework and you've got shit to do right now. So like,
just do
that's what I'm focusing on, and I'll get to that later. But
listen, that's a question for when I graduate, where all my parents' friends will walk up to me and be like, "So what are you gonna do with that degree?" I'm like,
I'm gonna live, laugh, and love. But also, take advantage of the fact that we have access to film equipment, like
that's so true.
Analog film.
Oh yeah, analog.
I don't think RISD really like emphasizes just how like unique and it's pretty special that we have Bolexes that you can go rent and and we get discounted film. We have an ARRI, like you can get trained on these amazing 16mm film cameras, and like take advantage of that, because it's a lot harder to find after college, and most contemporary, film programs don't still have
They don't use it.
analog film stuff. We have Steenbecks, which is insane that we
Yeah.
have so many Steenbecks. Like, use the Steenbecks, go through the found footage.
Take
like,
experimental film. We have an optical printer.
Yes.
You can do fun stuff. It's legitimately, this is an experimental film podcast now.
It is. It's very special that we have such close proximity to all of that, and I think, like, even if you're not using that as your main project, just like
Yeah.
you do it for fun, or like get because we have a student discount.
We student discount
on rolls
also.
of film, which is amazing.
Little there's the opportunity to get the Kodak grant where you get recommended by a teacher. Try to get, if you want to shoot on film, which I think more people should. There's really nothing, like, video and film look completely different. You should be allowed to prioritize. We're one of the few schools that actually teach it. That's a really good point. I think that the Steenbecks are the prettiest machines ever.
And I
They're
think
so pretty.
Yeah.
And the Bolex too.
Oh yeah. I think for sophomores, because during film practices I fucking hated it, because I was so intimidated by film, and I didn't understand it like right away, and I was just so scared about fucking up like the rules of film. It is scary and intimidating, but I would say just ask 1,000 questions. Like,
Yeah.
literally just go up to Ramon or whoever your teacher is and ask them like 10,000 questions every single class, because it's really cool. And once you do figure it out, it all kind of clicks together and it makes so much sense. But I would say, yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions about it, because I think I was a little bit, as sophomore Jack was hesitant to do that, but like, just ask 1,000 questions,
Yeah, and ask us, any of us.
Yeah.
And you ask us, don't be afraid.
Are you guys gonna do film for?
I am.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm shooting on
nice.
film. Well,
How's that different than digital?
digital, it's way scarier. No, it's more. It's with digital. The thing I really liked about shooting on digital was that it gives me the ability to do a lot of improv, and to like think of things on the spot. Be like, let's get this shot. Let's like that stuff. With film, it's a physical medium, and it's not infinite like an SD card feels like. It costs a lot, but it's still like nothing like it. It's more of a you have to really think about it. Think about all your shots. Think about how much film you're shooting. How much you have to get everything down to like a number. And I think that's what really intrigues me about like doing that. It's like everything is like, it feels like everything has a purpose. It doesn't feel like it's, no offense to digital, it doesn't feel like it's been strung together by me like last minute. That's just how I feel about my digital work, is that it's like, but
Yeah, I mean, digital and film both have their advantages and disadvantages. Yeah. Like if you want to make a project where you have a ton of freedom, like on set, and you can shoot 1,000 takes of something, and do digital. But I think film, kind of like you were saying, Jack, it's like you have to really consider it a lot more. Like each individual shot, you really have to hone it in before you roll. Yeah. Which it's just a different approach to it. And after like doing both, I think I like certain aspects of
I like certain aspects of both. I like the freedom of being able to let actors feel out scenes, like redo scenes really quickly. But I think that with a senior project, I think that's the cool thing about having a junior and senior project, is that you really get to like kind of go like step above or step away from like what you've recently done. But
It
film,
takes more planning too.
it
It takes
does,
time.
it does take.
compared to
It's a real
digital.
number, yeah. And looking at a quantity of it. Do you want to shoot on film, Sydney? You a film person?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm coming to you guys' house tomorrow to
Yeah.
borrow
Yes,
Carter's
to borrow the Super 8.
Super
Right.
8.
That's
So
awesome.
then, I'm doing weddings, so I think Super 8 and weddings is cute and nostalgic. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
about
that'll be
it.
awesome.
Be cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like jailbreak mine to always shoot in 24 frames, because my camera has the ability to shoot in 24 frames per second, but
What does it shoot right
doesn't.
now?
18. Most Super 8 cameras do shoot 18, but some of them can shoot in 24. I think Carter just fixed one the other day with someone in photo. They just fixed a Super 8 camera that is like shoots in 24 and takes stills. So it's pretty cool. Super 8, man. Are you excited? You're about to shoot. Welcome back to film. Welcome to live action.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, but I'm excited, and it's different when it's physical, and it's beautiful. But I still love digital. Like, yeah, I think for the majority of documentary work makes sense for digital, and then film is just like a cool little thing.
Oh yeah.
To add in. But yeah.
I would say, if I was gonna say one last thing,
Yeah.
I think the most helpful thing for me at RISD on the live action track has been working on other people's sets and collaborating with people, offering to help. So it's just the way that it ends up working, instead of it being like you pay someone to work on your set. It's just like, do favors for people and they will help you out, you know? Yeah. So like, just get on set experience. I think it's really, really valuable. Even if you're not doing what you 100% like really, really want to do, I think it's important to kind of get experience in all the facets of live action. Because like, you know, I've been on sets just as someone who, like, if the director needs a new battery, like I want to get a new battery. I've been the sound guy. Like, get experience in every aspect of it, I think.
Yeah, because I don't think our classes really teach you how to be on set as much. No. You really just experience and learn that from other people. So sophomores work on junior films, and juniors work on senior films.
Yes. Yes. Are you gonna shoot on film?
I don't know. I'm gonna do something with film this year, but I don't know if I'm gonna shoot my DP on film.
Don't be afraid to shoot on film. Is my advice. That's my advice. You literally take a class on it so you get comfortable with it. Film, you should be allowed to mess up and make mistakes and be sad about it. Guys, shoot on film.
All right. Anything else?
We can cut that out.
Good for a wrap? I don't know. What else? You have any questions? Any last advice? We good?
I feel pretty good.
I feel like you did a great job, Jack.
PR Radio, this is our class. Thank you for tuning in.
Welcome to KEXP. What is K? Doesn't matter.
99.9 Magic FM.
Alice 107.7. That's one for those who live in the FM.
Cool. Well, thanks
FM
everyone
right
for
there.
tuning in.
Thank you, Sydney, for having us.
Thank you, Sydney. Thank you for having us.
Hopefully you enjoyed this first podcast. We're going to do more. We're going to do animation and open media people next. And if you want to be part of this thing, then look in the description for more info. And feel free to reach out to any of us all. We'd love to talk to you if you're still trying to decide what to do, what your project's going to be, and all the craziness of that. And that's about it. Toodles.
Goodbye.
For now.